Oh, ladies and gentlemen, just your friendly pilot Tim here. What's going on our way back home from Nassau today? Went out visiting a couple buddies, spent the night out there. I got to go to work tomorrow, so got to scoot home. Would have just stayed through the weekend, but you got to work, I guess, every now and then. Just passed by the Berry Islands out there, absolutely gorgeous, doing 166 knots true airspeed up here at 10,000 feet on an IFR flight plan back to Fort Lauderdale Executive. On an IFR because there was tons of weather around Nassau. It wasn't too bad of weather, it was just enough that the field went IFR, so I got out of there perfectly fine, no issues there. And now we're scooting on our way. There isn't anything else on our way, just a couple clouds up ahead towards maybe over Decal intersection, just past Bimini. A couple little buildups over there around Bimini, but no convective activity, no rain or anything like that. So we're just cruising along. Again, 166 knots, man. This plane just does it some days, you know. Very, very cool. Stoked to be up in it. Got a lot of cruising to do left in this airplane. Shooting out to work this weekend, then maybe going over to Louisiana. I don't know how we're going to fit it all. I want to get back out to the Bahamas. My buddy's going to be there for a little bit, so I want to spend as much time out there as possible whenever I get the chance. Alright, just show you guys the setup back here right now. Hold one of the back seats out. So right now we're only a 3-seater. But this is kind of cool. You can fit a bunch of stuff here. I want to do some surf trips. I mean, there's plenty of room. Surfboards right up there, right up the middle of these two seats here. Got some of my chips here, some snacks for the way back. But yeah, some surfboards right up the middle here. Some gear. We'd be cruising. 3 guys out there, no problem. Head out to the islands. Got to check on here with Miami. Hey, Miami, Comanche 9114 Papa, 10,000 direct decal.
Number 9114 Papa, Miami Center for Lauderdale, altimeter 2989er.
89er on the meter, 14 Papa. That's just our new altimeter setting, 89 right there. Just leaned out the mixture pretty good here. Get a little leaner than what we're showing here right now.
American 1527, Miami Center.
About where we want it right there. Burning about 12.5 to 13 gallons an hour on this airplane.
47, amendment to your route.
That should be about good right there.
Dock 5347.
About 13.
Rumpo, Romeo uniform.
Showing about just over 20 inches of manifold pressure and 2,300 RPMs. Actually, I did some testing with my dad after on our trip to Savannah, Georgia and back. And we were just testing a couple different power settings. Up here at 10,000 feet, I like to cruise about max differential pressure, which is usually about 20 inches of manifold pressure, and then I use 2,300 RPMs. It usually gives me a good cruise, you know, in the 160s, and burning about 13 gallons an hour or so, give or take. So we were doing a couple different tests with the aircraft, testing different power settings for fuel consumptions, and just seeing what the difference was in true airspeed. And we left the power full in, max differential power, which gave us about the same. It gave us about another extra half inch, and we backed down the RPMs down to 2,200 RPMs. When you back down the RPMs, you actually gain manifold pressure because your engine is requiring less air. So you actually gain a little bit of pressure in the manifold. It just basically cancels out the power loss for the 2,200 RPMs. You still lose a little bit of power because the blades aren't turning as fast, and horsepower is a derivative of torque and RPM. So you lose a little bit of power and therefore losing a little bit of speed. I think we only lost about 3 knots or so, 4 knots. But we chopped off an entire gallon per hour, which was pretty impressive. So, I mean, if you lose, let's say, 5 knots, you're really, on a couple-hour trip, you're only missing out on about a couple of minutes. So, the difference, the saving in fuel is nice, and the airspeed loss is negligible. On the opposite side, we pumped it up to 2,400 RPM, again, max differential power, burned about 13 and a half an hour, I believe, and picked up another 5 knots or 4 knots or so from our standard 21 inches of manifold pressure, 2,300 RPM. So we picked up a little bit of speed and burned a little bit more. I'm doing my standard cruise right now at about 20 inches at 10,000 feet, again max power, and 2,300 RPMs, and I'm showing about 166 right now, true airspeed. I'll tell you what, this is a heck of a performer. Tons of fun out here. I'm sure you guys have seen the speed breaks out there on the wings. What an amazing airplane.
Wings 3106, contact.
Looking to get back out here in the Bahamas as soon as possible. We got to just keep making this run as much as we can. And man, just got to get the Mally B out here and just start coming back and forth. I'll just live out here. There's 2 flights a day on Delta out of Nassau. Tell you what, I'll make it happen. I went ahead and canceled my IFR flight plan, so I am on a VFR now, just to make it easier. It's not only easier on me, I can go direct, but it's also easier on the controllers, and they don't have to vector me around, and I don't have to get vectored around, so it's kind of nice. So I go ahead and set 14 miles, 1,000 feet, MSL, our side of FXE. That's going to allow me to be outside the Class Charlie airspace at Fort Lauderdale International Airport. You can see if we can zoom in here a little bit on the Aspen. That outer ring right there, that's a 1,200 ring. So surface at 1,200, we're good. So 1,000 feet just outside, and that allows us to skirt right into Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport. I usually like to set my VS profile for 1,000, and when I see about 900 to 1,000, I set 1,200 as a descent rate because of the increase in airspeed. You can see we're doing about 180 indicated airspeed, showing us about 208 knots right now. True airspeed with a ground speed of 201 knots. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's typically what this airplane gets up high on its way down. Nice thin air. About 200 knots, that's 230 miles an hour, which is just so cool. I mean, we climb out about 120. It climbs out about 1,200 feet a minute, 1,000 feet a minute. So we're on our way up the whole time, about 120. Level off 166, 165 knots in true up in cruise, and then we're churning out above 200 knots right now, 205, 206 right now. So this airplane is just absolutely incredible. Just couldn't ask for anything better for the price, performance that you get out of it, and the load capacity. I mean, yeah, it is a 4-seater airplane. It would be a little bit better. This one actually, you could put smaller people all the way in the baggage compartment if you had the setup for it. So we could load up another person if we wanted to do 5. But as of right now, we don't have it. That's what actually, these little holes right there under the floorboard, that's so that someone can sit back there and put their feet under the seats here. So this seat's got a little hole underneath it, that's got a little hole. That's actually for the feet. So, pretty cool. Absolutely incredible day to fly. I didn't know if it was going to be that nice. It's starting to get pretty messy over there in the Bahamian Islands. It was starting to light up over the top of most of the islands. So I wasn't sure if I was going to have a rough way back fighting weather on the way back into the States, but does not look too bad out here today.
Miami approach, November 926 Bravo is with you.
Picking up the manifold pressure right now so we can start inching it back. I'm about 2,400 or 24 inches right now. I'll just go ahead and back it down to about 21 inches right now. And I'll just richen it up just a little bit. So we'll just
3377. Yeah, good day. 4 kill Mike. See ya.
Still doing. We're backing off on the true airspeed right now, about 196. Coming out of 5,000.
Contact Miami approach 119.7. Good day.
All right, that's 19.7 for 14 pop.
Archer 504 Alpha 800 climbing 2,000.
504 Alpha, Miami departure, order contact, climb and maintain 3,000.
Climb and maintain 3,000, 504 Alpha.
Hey, Miami Comanche 9114, Papa descending out of 5,000 for 1,000 feet with Gulf.
Number 911 Alpha, 4 Pop, Miami approach, thank you, maintain VFR outside the Class Charlie.
VFR outside the Charlie, 14 Pop. There we go. We knew they were going to give us outside the Charlie, which is why I set myself up 1,000 feet, 14 miles this side. That's going to keep us at that, hitting that inner ring, or just before that inner ring, at 1,000 feet to keep us clear of the Charlie, and we'll just fly all the way into executive at 1,000 feet.
Number 90 Hotel Squawk 4357.
November 1 for Papa. Runway 9er, clear to land. Keep the base and turn tight. You're turning in front of a Cessna approaching a 6-mile final.
Alright, Roger, keep it tight. Number 1 for the field, 14 Papa.
Tower 1729 Hotel, inbound.
Got these brakes out.
Going mist to the northwest.
That's it. Cruising in. 14 Papa, just want to be sure we're clear to land. Runway 9, you want us to keep it tight.
Affirmative 1 for Papa, clear to land. Runway 9er.
Clear to land, runway 9, 14 Papa. Brakes are coming out again. Bam! Woo! Brakes are out. We're at our gear speed. Gear's coming out.
Bravo, executive tower, runway 9er, continue traffic in position.
Pull up in the cowl flap here. Bam!
110 at 11.
A little bit of back trim, and flaps are coming down. Perfect. Speeds right here. Boom. Speed brakes can go back in. We're on a short base to final, runway 9 into Fort Lauderdale